So I'm not really sure why that cut out. Let's hope that doesn't keep cutting out, but it might, and that would be the end of my space, which hasn't lasted long here on this iPhone. But okay, so back to the game. So I am a yoga teacher, right? I teach adults, I teach kids, I teach senior citizens. I've taught, all different kinds of people from all different backgrounds and different cultures. And one thing about yoga, right? So yoga, consciousness, right? When you're like in a pose, we're getting in touch with our breath. We're becoming aware of that stream of consciousness that kind of streams through us. We bring our attention back to the breath, back to that point of sensation when we're doing yoga, right? So that's a little side yoga. But okay, so I teach kids yoga. One kids yoga class I've been teaching, we actually played the game. And it was cool because it's so beautiful. It's not the first time I've played it with kids. They really pick up so quickly. And the reason I think that they do is because it's nice to kind of be in a formal setting, formal learning environment, a yoga class, and to not have there be just like one right answer. Sometimes in school, there's like one right answer. And if you don't get it, then you A, might be humiliated, and B, you might think you're stupid, right? Whatever it is. But the nice thing about this is there isn't a right answer. You know the right answer for you. And that's something that I really like about it, because it allows kids to kind of use their imagination and their creativity to kind of assess really what's going on inside them and kind of feel confident about their internal dialogue and expressing their feelings, expressing their truth. What's their truth in that moment? So the way we played it, I wanted to just give some guidance. The way we played it was, we do this thing called, we do rose and thorn. And rose and thorn, we go around in a circle and we share a rose and a thorn. A rose is like something that's really good happening in our life, something that we're excited about, something that gets us pumped and jazzed, and something that we want to share with the class. A thorn, on the other hand, as you can imagine, though both of them are necessary to make up a rose, is something that's kind of a little sticky, a little rough, a little uncomfortable that's going on in life, and something that was a little bit of a challenge. So we went around in a circle and we played rose and thorn. So we kind of all got on the same page. We just kind of like a check-in, got on the same page. And it's really beautiful how much kids can kind of really like tap into each other when people are sharing their emotions. It's really, really beautiful, and I just do not think it happens enough. And this I think could be a good avenue to help promote socio-emotional learning in schools, because it's a structured process in some ways that helps to guide dialogue. I think that's like how I like to look at it. So after we did our rose and our thorn, I picked someone in the class to pick 3 cards, right? So the different cards, one is a challenge card, one is a relate card, and one is a life circle card, right? So this is the challenge card, this is the relate card, this is the life circle card. So I had them pick 3 cards. They're probably first grade to 3rd grade. So to be honest, that's not really, you have to kind of just be really open with the flow, let it flow, right? Because you can't be too structured with them, because their brains don't really work that way yet. So I just had them reflect on their rose and their thorn and pick those 3 cards and kind of just like take a little peek at them and see, okay, how does this relate to what's going on? How do these cards come together, and how do they kind of maybe come together versus what's going on in your life, right? Just kind of making that assessment. And it was really beautiful how quickly they picked up, because they didn't have a right answer. Like, one girl, she said that, she did an obstacle course and it was really challenging, and it was really hard for her, right? And then another girl said that her friend couldn't come over because they got sick, right? Those were their thorns. And so then we picked some cards, and the cards, they could relate to them. So for example, the girl who had a girl that had a sick, she picked this card, it said chattering teeth, right? Then she picked this card, and it was green. So I was like, okay, what do those mean to you? What does that mean to you? Chattering teeth. Means me the dentist. Do you like the dentist? Yeah, I like the dentist. Okay. So what does the redness represent to you? Well, getting good, making sure you're healthy, making sure you're good, and focusing on that. I'm like, okay, so we're focusing on health. So she shifted her focus from being sad about the kid that couldn't come over because he was sick to thinking about the dentist, thinking about health, thinking about importance of that and getting better, right? Then green, what does that mean to you? What do you think of when you think of green? Oh, well, I think about trees. And I'm like, what makes trees? And trees and green, and then she also had a water card. Water and trees, and these are things that help me feel calm. You know, she went from this green card to trees, and the stream of consciousness from trees to the other water card, she made that connection, helped her to feel calm. Right? So it was really beautiful to see them guide their consciousness to a place that was supportive of them to help them feel more calm. And so went and did a meditation afterwards and kind of said to everybody, like, let's bring that to mind. Let's bring those images, those visuals to mind. Trees, water, things that help us feel calm, right? Helping to guide our consciousness to a different emotional state. So it was really beautiful to see how quickly they picked this game up, and there wasn't a right answer. It was just like, let's just play. Let's just see what we have here. So another girl, she picked this card, and she related it to the obstacle course, right? She was hard for it to be an obstacle course, right? How beautiful, the image of an obstacle course, what it represents, obstacles, right? And she picked this card. So it was like, okay, well, how does that relate to the obstacle course maybe for you? And she was just like, well, you know, if I were to get hurt, then I would maybe need a first aid kit. And if I needed a first aid kit, then that would help me maybe get some Band-Aids to get better if I got hurt on the obstacle course. And so then I would feel better if I had I would feel better and I could finish the obstacle course. What a beautiful metaphor that is, right? To life, an obstacle course, and then you find a first aid kit, whatever that represents, that first aid kit, to cover the wound, to keep going through the obstacle course, to complete it, right? So their minds were working like that, and they were easily, you know, tapping into it. Right? Another card that was picked was this card. It says, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Right? So indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So this was guiding the kids to think about, okay, a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, is the only thing that ever has. So she was picking her cards, and it was guiding her into thinking about how, okay, say you're in the obstacle course, and, you know, maybe you're with a group of people, right? Okay, you're with a group of people, and maybe the group of people that help you could be the first aid kit, right? So try to make those connections. Okay, so support from a group of people could represent the first aid kit. It's just using their imagination. There's no right answer, right? One was a little older. She could kind of think a little bit more, you know, and the other one was like, okay, what's green? Green's grass. Green's trees. Green's make me feel good, you know? And makes me want to be healthy. You know, and then, so it's just really beautiful. It was a really beautiful experience, and they picked it up so quick. They loved it. Everyone was engaged and attentive, and all in the circle really loving the vibe. So, and then we kind of it created like a really tapped in energy for the group. And just thinking about a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens, right? Just guiding kids to be thoughtful, committed citizens, and working together, and to get through the obstacle course, to get healthy, you know, whatever it is. And then meditating on these beautiful things just by visualize green. What does green mean to you? Oh, okay. You know, so helping to guide their thoughts and guide their consciousness in a way that helps them feel calm. And they really picked it up easily because there's no a right way to do it. And I think that was really refreshing, you know, to not be wrong and to feel safe to be like, okay, well, what does that mean? And just let them kind of explore. So, highly recommend this game to help with conversations and dialogue and group dynamics and guiding through consciousness and all those things. Lots of love. Take care. Bye.